Hello everyone. I would like to share a few details about the solar eclipse. So I'm a complete novice to the astronomy world, but I just got so fascinated to know what's behind the scenes of these eclipses. So I have put together the details from various websites that might interest you as well. So to start with, what's in solar eclipse? So it occurs when the sun, moon, and the earth are aligned in a way that the portion of the earth is immersed in a shadow cast by the moon, which fully or partially blocks the sunlight. So there are two kinds of solar eclipse. So one is the annular, and this occurs when the moon is too far away to completely cover the sun's disk, leaving the sun look like a ring. That's why it's called an annular eclipse. And what a total eclipse is, it's a full solar eclipse known as totality. It almost is as dark as night. And it's also referred as diamond effect because, as you see on the top, there's a nice sparkling diamond effect to it. So, what's happening on the 21st June 2020 is a June solstice. So, what's a solstice first? So, it's when the sun, which does not precisely rise on the east but rises on the northeast and sets to the northwest, meaning it's visible in the sky for a longer period of time. So, we have two solstices in a year, which is June and December solstice. So what we have for the June 21st, 2020 is an annular solar eclipse. So let's see how it looks like near the maximum point. So here's a little animation from the time and date website. So as you see, the partial eclipse has started and it's moving into the sun's elliptical path. And here it stops for a while for the full eclipse. And then it ends and moves out of the sun. Yes, so this is how it's going to look like on the 21st, but for a very little time. And let's now look at what all regions can see this eclipse. So here's a view of the regions that could view the eclipse. So as you see the color coding, the red part is the places that can view the full eclipse, and then the orange and the yellow part would see a partial or no eclipse. So it starts with Africa, Europe, Asia, including India, and then Pakistan, and Taiwan, China, and then bits of Australia as well. Let's have a look at the 3D globe of the regions that could view the annular solar eclipse. So here is how it looks like. To start with, from Congo and then to the Central Africa. Let me zoom a bit. So it begins in the Congo, where in Africa, and then it goes to like Europe and then Asia, where you have Rajasthan and Uttarakhand, which is the border of Nepal and China, and then moving to China, which is Fujian, and Taiwan. And there are also places that could view the partial eclipse, and that would be like Sudan, Ethiopia, or Yemen, or Qatar, Oman, Dubai, and New Delhi, and Hong Kong, and other places. So this is a shadow map. It's interesting to see how the solar eclipse moves, the annular solar eclipse moves. So that red dot in the middle is the places which can view the complete annular eclipse in this June 21st. This annular solar eclipse has a higher magnitude but a narrow path. So as you see, it spans across two continents, Africa and Asia, and 14 countries, but at the same time it's very narrow. So at its widest is at West Africa, and where it reaches the greatest eclipse, that's the highest magnitude, would be Uttarakhand, India. Let's look into another eclipse shadow path where the world map is divided into night and day, as you see. And the annular solar eclipse is marked in the orange circle. So this clearly indicates what all places and regions would have the view of this annular solar eclipse. And the sun sets by the time it could reach Australia or New Zealand. So there's no eclipse on that side of the world. I mean, it's not viewable. So coming to the annularity of this solar eclipse, starting at Imfonda at West Africa, the annularity stays for 1 minute 8 seconds. And then the maximum eclipse that we spoke about was at India, Uttarakhand, where the annularity is 36 seconds. So that's how long people in India could view or experience the maximum annular solar eclipse. This 21st June 2020 eclipse is considered to be a rare solstice eclipse because in many other time zones, this eclipse happens in the same day as the June solstice. So on the right side of this video, if you see, these are the upcoming 10 solar eclipses, and none of them would occur on the same June 21st. So the next, any other time an annular solar eclipse coincides with the June solstice in this century would be the 2039 eclipse. As you see, on 2039, the same day under June, there's this annular solar eclipse happening again. So that is why it's a rare solstice and it happens only every 19 years. So the previous similar solstice was around 2001. So one other reason why it's a rare solstice eclipse is in many time zones, this eclipse will take place on the same day as a June solstice. So you say the UTC versus the local time is spread across in the same day. And if you consider any other annular solar eclipse, for example, the 4th December on 2021 is spread in 2 days. And then if I take the 2023 eclipse on the October, it's again spread in 2 days of 14th and 15th. Moving on to the most interesting part is what's to do with astrology on this particular day. I surely believe astrology and astronomy goes hand in hand or vice versa. I'm a novice person to astrology too, but here are a few findings that I came up with. So on the 21st of June, the planetary positions are here, and there are 4 planets that are retrograde, which is again a rare instance. So we have Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter in retrograde, and along with that Rahu, Ketu as usual. So which adds up to 6 planets being retrograde on the same day. Let's see what the star signs these planets reside. So the Sun, Moon, and Rahu are in the house of Gemini, in the same star, which is Mrgasirisha, and the degrees you would see are very, very close, and hence the eclipse. They're just in like difference of 2 degrees. Next is Mercury in the same house of Gemini in 80 degrees. Again, it's retrograde, which means it's moving towards the eclipse. And next is Jupiter and Saturn, which is in the house of Capricorn, and they are in the star of Uttarashada, the same star, and both are retrograde. And you see that they are only 5 degrees apart, which means they are very, very close enough to each other. And along with all of that, Ketu in its own star sign, Moola, it's in the house of Sagittarius. And which means that Saturn and Jupiter are going towards Ketu. So what I perceive from this combination is it's a spiritually inclined day. So if you are a spiritual person, you shouldn't miss this day, because the merit you would get for your prayers and chantings would be double the time or even triple the times after the eclipse is over. So do your chantings and prayers during the eclipse and also after the eclipse. So now here is a little movement of all the planets, and on the top you see the day. It starts from May in this video, and you see how the Luna, which is the moon that goes around the earth, and now I have set the date to 20th of June, just the day before eclipse. Let's have a closer look at how it would look like on the day of eclipse. Yes, so the moon, earth and sun are just in the same elliptical orbit, as you see, and Saturn and Jupiter are close to each other, being retrograde, just looking like it moves in a opposite direction. Mercury and Venus, close enough. Yeah, isn't that interesting to watch? One more time, I repeat the video. So I'm really fascinated to see what's behind the scenes of this entire eclipse and in the solar system. That is it. So that was a little information I put together from various other websites. I have put the link in the description from which all websites I gathered these information. I hope it was interesting and thank you all for your time, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye.